Yo, what's poppin'? It's Tommathan, and we have huge Dallas Fuel news. We see that Rush is returning, and we have 5 members of the squad right now. As soon as I post this video, probably announce a 6th, because that's how it always goes. But who cares? Who knows? I'm talking about this now. This is big. Rush returning. If you were to tell me pick one member from the Dallas Fuel championship squad to carry over into the next season, I would have said Rush 100% of the time. The system that he makes, the system that he instills into a team, makes the whole greater than the sum of its parts, 100%. And even though like that's still true, Dallas last season obviously they had elite people on almost every role, you could argue. And yeah, it's definitely true. But still, they feel even bigger than that. They feel better. There's something about Rush that I believe in his system so much, and he gets so much credit for it, and he deserves it. No matter what the rest of the squad was, there are 3 members returning. I was gonna be optimistic with the outcome of this team for sure. Rush is just that good. It's perfect. And just having Rush back makes me kind of believe in the new pickups a bit more than maybe I otherwise would. Just because, you know what? Rush is that guy. He's that guy. I believe. So, after this, who's returning? Sparkle's returning. Edison's returning. And Hanbin is returning. Yeah, Fearless got sent away. Yeah, no more Doha, no more Gurriel. They are going on a bit more of a budget here. They don't have maybe the funds the luxury of picking up some other players that would just be kind of nice to have. And it's okay. Hanbin, you want to keep Hanbin. Obviously, he can just come in and dominate in, 60% of the metas last season, pretty much. Bro was insane. And even if he is your only tank, I kind of believe in him to be able to pick up a Winston, pick up a Reinhardt, do whatever he wants. Because he's that damn good at his own characters that I think he can definitely be at least average, at worst, at the main tanks. Maybe not. Maybe not. But I'm choosing to believe in him if he is the only tank. We don't know if he is. Maybe the 6th person will be another tank, and Hanbin won't have to worry about it. But if Hanbin says, you know what, Rush, trust me, I got this. I can be that guy for you. Don't even sweat it. And Rush says, you know what, I believe. I'm down. I'm down. It works out for me. I'm cool with it. Sure, why not? Now, I wasn't cool with it in my Season 3 video where I picked up Mikey as the main tank. But in this situation where the budget is fine and you don't have options with the whole rest of the guys, I like it. Run Hanbin as your only tank. He's good. Having Hanbin plus Rush immediately, no matter what's around them, makes them have a chance to be very competitive in specific Hanbin metas, right? The Zarya metas, the Junker Queen metas, those things. Even more than that, Diva, Sigma, I trust it. I trust it. You can be competitive. You can fight for first place in a tournament because Hanbin's that good. Then, looking at the DPS line, Sparkle is great to keep. Great personality, great synergy. You just kind of want to, you don't want to break what's not broken. You want to try and keep the squad as together as you can. And I'm sure Sparkle wanted to stay. He seems like a guy that, I'm just spitballing, but I'm just like, he seems like a guy that would want to stay with the squad, you know? Very outgoing, very, very funny clip guy, you know? The Sparkle rage clips. Got to keep him going. And he's very good at the Genji. The Tracer has been getting better and better. It's pretty good now. Like keeping Sparkle. Edison, I still have some... Did you ever doubt him as a title? The answer is yes, and I still do. I know he had a really good showing on the Sojourn. His Reaper was really good this season. But if he's going to be your head scan guy moving forward, if we had an Ashe meta and he's going up against the likes of, I don't know, whatever you want, you got Lip in this division, Hisu's going somewhere, I would assume, as there is a leak later that I'll talk about. All those kind of guys, Kai, Sparker, Hydron, Merit, the list goes on. I don't know if I trust him that much. And you can say, well, his Sojourn was pretty good. Yeah, it was pretty good. I don't rate his Sojourn as much as most people, which is probably known if you have watched my top 5 Sojourns and all that kind of stuff. But like, I don't know. I'm a little hesitant. I think he kind of happened to be good at Sojourn. I still don't trust him all the way. But you know what? Maybe he'll prove me wrong. He proved me wrong this season when I didn't think he'd be that good. And he was still pretty good. He was much better than I thought. So he'll probably do it again. But I still have reservations. Overall, keeping the score, I like it. You don't want to break it up if you've won. Like if Edison says, you know what, I'll come back, you're not going to say no. It's too big of a risk for no reason. And then we get the new addition to the backline. They could not keep Fielder and Chio, who was probably the best backline in the league. I'm just going to say they were the best backline in the league. And now you replace him with MCD and Bliss. So Bliss coming up from contenders, coming from O2 Blast. A lot of people thought he would go to Shock. Shock go, you know what? We'll take Van Dame instead. Very valid. Super valid. Bliss is still very good. I am excited to see him in Overwatch League. Very, very happy that he's in the league, for sure. I think he's very good at the main support. The main support player, not too much to say. He was on O2 Blast, so he was on a winning team, and he looked good on a winning team, which is how main supports normally work. But if you had to take a risk, not even a risk on Chio, but if, you bring up Chio, you make Chio look insane, why not do it with Bliss? He's not as aggressive as Chio. Not at all. He's not that, super like that. But Chio's, next level, right? But I don't know. Bliss is pretty good. Bliss is pretty good. I would not be worried at all here. I would be a little bit worried with MCD. The second best flex support from Boston last season, in my opinion. And I have to say, I'm not too high on him. He is formerly Element Mystic, so he does have synergy. Or not synergy, but he has familiarity with Rush. So Rush probably likes him, and he was like, you know what, we'll bring MCD on. And if Rush likes him, I'm not going to say I like him, but it makes me have more faith. I trust Rush, so I trust bringing in MCD in a way. I still think he is probably below the average for flex supports. There are just so many high-level flex supports that I look at MCD and I'm just like, really? This is your fielder replacement? There were no good replacements. You weren't, unless you were getting Shu, Izayaki, Twilight, something like that. There were not going to be anywhere near, but MCD just feels like a really, man? Creative is still out there. Iris is still out there. I would have rather either of those guys. I think MCD is probably a half step below them. I don't know. Rush values it. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But I'm not too high on MCD. One thing that this backline does do better than the last one is that Chio did not have a great flex support on him. So Bliss, I believe, I would wager that he has a better flex support on him. So if you want, you can play some double flex comps better. Which is good. It's important. But whoever the next person is coming up, the 6th guy, will probably decide a lot about how I feel about this roster. Because you could, adding another DPS or a tank or a support all adds high value to this team. And they're probably only going to go with 1, maybe 2 more additions. So, I don't know. I really don't know. Edison is kind of a super flex if you plan on him being your main hit scan. So, I guess probably don't worry about damage. I'd like to see another support or tank, I think. Maybe it's because I'm not rating MCD, and maybe they're just going to get another tank, but they got to get something. So, we'll see. And now, the single leak from Leak Mafia is Hisu going to California and not Glads. So, that's probably Shock. If Hisu is going to Shock, that would be huge for the team. I would rate them so much higher than I do now. I have kind of expressed some, what's the word? Not the caution. Some caution with running just Hisang proper. I would like to see Hisu or a hit scan in general, so that proper can be in 24/7 on whatever he thinks is best. If he thinks that his tracer will carry harder, I don't want him to be on hit scan. If it's a Cassidy meta or something dumb like that, and Hisu is, or not Hisu, and proper would be stuck on it, whatever he could be on, like a Genji or something like that, it'd be a negative. It'd be like Leave and Jinmu being the only DPS duo on Chengdu. You want Lee on Tracer, but he had to play Sojourn, even though he probably would have carried harder on Tracer. It's like that. So I definitely want a third hit scan. If it's Hisu, please, Hisu's the GOAT. I want no Hisu slander. He is insane. The only reason that Toronto looked like a competitive team a lot of the time, he was doing in numbers. He deserves a great team. He deserves a championship. If Hisu's on Shock, I will... Oh, can I say I will subtly root for Shock? Maybe. Hisu's my guy. I don't know. It's hard to hate Hisu for me, but whatever. We'll see if it's Shock. If it's Valiant, GG Hisu. You deserve better. But I surely not. Surely not. Glads would be cool, but he said no Glads, but who knows. 90% chance the move is happening. Whatever. We'll see. Very excited for Dallas. Not very excited. cautiously optimistic. Yeah, that's the word I'll use. But yeah, so let me know your thoughts on Dallas down below. Do you think Rush, no matter what, will make a goated team? Or do you think MCD is going to cause them to fall? I don't know. You decide. Okay, have yourself a good one and deuces.